Anna in Seoul. My phone died in the middle of Seoul. I had no map, no internet, and no idea where I was. It was my first day in South Korea. I was alone, and I was lost. I stood near a small noodle shop. The lights were bright. The street was busy. People walked fast, talking into their phones. I looked around. Signs were in Korean. I couldn't read them. I took a deep breath. Okay, I said. Let's find a way. I walked slowly down the street. Colorful lights blinked above me. I passed cafes, beauty shops, music stores. One shop played loud K-pop music. People inside were dancing. Seoul was full of life. A young woman smiled at me. I asked, "Do you speak English?" She nodded. "A little." I showed her the name of my hotel. She pointed to a side street and said, "That way. 5 minutes." I smiled. "Thank you." She waved. "Welcome to Seoul." 5 minutes later, I saw my hotel. It was small and clean. The staff was kind. In my room, I sat on the bed. My heart was still beating fast. But I smiled. "Day 1, I said. "Not bad." The next morning, I walked to a market. It was loud and colorful. Vendors shouted, "Tekbokki, Mandu, Hadiok." I didn't understand everything, but it felt exciting. I bought spicy rice cakes and a sweet pancake with brown sugar. Delicious. Then I went to a hanbok shop. Hanbok is traditional Korean clothing. The woman helped me try one on. It was pink, soft, and elegant. She said, "You look beautiful." I smiled. "Kamsahamnida." That means thank you in Korean. Later, I visited Gyeongbokgung Palace. It was old and beautiful. Guards in colorful uniforms stood still as statues. I took pictures. I watched a changing of the guard ceremony. Drums, flags, movements in perfect rhythm. It felt like going back in time. In the evening, I went to the Han River. People jogged, biked, and ate snacks by the water. I sat on the grass and watched the city lights. The wind was cool. The sky was dark. Seoul felt peaceful now. A man nearby was flying a kite. It danced in the sky. He turned to me and said, "Nice view, right?" I nodded. "Very nice." We talked for a while. He was a university student. He wanted to travel, just like me. On my 3rd day, I visited a cat cafe. Cats slept in boxes, played with strings, or sat on people's laps. I drank a coffee and pet a gray cat. Its name was Mango. Mango liked my backpack and climbed inside. After that, I went to a bookstore. I found a Korean English phrase book. I learned how to say, "Hello, annyeonghaseyo." "Thank you, kamsahamnida." "Sorry, mine hamnida." Language is hard, but learning is fun. In the afternoon, I took the subway. It was fast and clean. Each station had art on the walls. Music played at some stops. I got off at Dongdaemun Design Plaza, a huge building with lights, shops, and art. It looked like a spaceship. There was an outdoor exhibit. Photos of people, cities, mountains. One picture showed an old woman smiling. Below it, a sentence. "Happiness is not a place. It's a moment." I smiled. That night, I ate dinner at a barbecue place. I sat at a small table. The grill was in the center. A waiter brought meat, garlic, and side dishes, kimchi, seaweed, pickled radish. He showed me how to cook it. It was smoky, salty, spicy, and amazing. At the next table, 2 girls were laughing. One looked at me and said, "First time in Seoul?" I nodded. Enjoy it, she said. This city has magic. Later, back in my hotel, I wrote in my journal. Seoul is fast, bright, tasty, kind. I got lost. I made mistakes, but I also made memories. On my final evening in Seoul, I didn't want to sleep. The city was calling me again. I left the hotel at 8 p.m. and started walking. The streets were glowing. People were everywhere, shopping, laughing, eating. I walked without a plan, just me and the city. I found a side street filled with tiny restaurants. Each one had a special smell: grilled meat, sweet soy sauce, fried pancakes. I stopped at one that looked warm and quiet. Inside, a woman stood behind the counter. "Hello," she said gently. "One person." I nodded. She smiled and led me to a table near the window. There was no English menu, only pictures. I pointed at a dish with rice, vegetables, and egg on top. "Bibimbap," she said. I smiled. "Yes, please." She brought me a tray with 5 small side dishes: kimchi, sprouts, tofu, cucumber, and spicy radish. I tried each one slowly. Sour, sweet, crunchy, warm. Every bite was different. Then she brought the main dish. Hot, colorful, perfect. As I ate, I looked out the window. Outside, 2 kids were dancing on the sidewalk. Their dad filmed them with his phone. The mom clapped. It was simple, but beautiful. When I finished eating, the woman gave me a small dessert. "Rice cake," she said. "On the house." I was surprised. "Thank you so much," I said. She smiled. "You are far from home, but you are welcome here." I left the restaurant and kept walking. In a small park, I sat on a bench. Next to me, a man played a quiet melody on a bamboo flute. It was soft and slow. The sound moved through the trees. For a moment, everything stopped. No traffic, no noise, just the wind, and music, and light. I looked up and saw the moon above Seoul, the same moon I saw in my home country. But tonight, it felt closer. I thought about all the places I'd been: New York, Rome, Tokyo, Lisbon. But Seoul had a different feeling. It was fast, yes, but also gentle. Busy, but never rude. Loud, but kind. I took out my phone and opened my photos. Smiling faces, delicious food, bridges, temples, cats, sunsets, signs. Every picture was a little story. I whispered to myself. I didn't understand every word. I didn't know every street. But I felt safe here. I felt seen. That night, I slept deeply. And in the morning, I said goodbye to the hotel staff. "Thank you for everything," I said. The man at the desk bowed. "Come back anytime." At the airport, I bought one last snack, a triangle kimbap. I sat by the window and watched the planes. Soon I would be home, but part of me would stay in Seoul. I opened my journal and wrote. In Seoul, I learned how to be alone and not afraid. I learned how to be lost and still find something new. I didn't just visit a city. I lived a story,